Hello everyone. First, let me apologize briefly for the fact that I am using the built-in web camera on my laptop. It's not the best quality, and I understand that. I'm also not in the best lit environment, but I'm working with what I have in this moment. So, with without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Before I launch into the actual teaching demo, other things that you should know are that I am not actively in front of a classroom. I am in a quiet room. Also, what we are going to be talking about is a new technological platform that we have not yet used in the class, but we'll be drawing on some ideas that we have used in the past. So we're mostly going to be looking at what this platform is and the objectives that we have for using it. All right, if you'll just give me 1 second and we'll go ahead and get started. Hi everybody, how's it going? Okay, so we just came up with some great brainstorming in terms of what annotation is and how it functions. And you guys already noted a lot of the really good things that can come from annotating. So we talked about talking to the text and asking questions, as well as some of the smaller level things that we can do, like highlighting problem words, writing definitions in the margins, as well as also circling or underlining things that we might want to emphasize or that could be confusing. And those are all spectacular reasons to annotate. It helps not just with our reading comprehension, but it also helps us really have a conversation with the author of that text. Today, since we have the computer lab, we are going to be looking at annotation, but in a social way. Now that's a little different than what we normally do. When we've annotated things in the past, it's always been all about us. It's our thoughts, it's our definitions, it's things that confuse us, and when we finish, we take the piece of reading that we've done, we bring it to class, and then we have a discussion. And even though we have a discussion, our annotations themselves are still very private, they're very ours. We just take those things and bring them into the class. However, this program that we're going to look at, a program called Hypothesis, allows you to annotate on the web. And that's really exciting because in addition to being able to highlight things and add margin notes, or if you want to, copy and paste definitions that you find from Google, there's one other key feature that we're going to use that I think is really spectacular, and that is that we can use Hypothesis socially. When you are annotating and you ask a discussion question, or when you're annotating and you ask for a definition, your friend will be able to reply to your annotation and comment on that. Additionally, when somebody's noting that something's important, it's going to pop up on your screen as well. There's going to be a thing we need to do to accomplish that, and that is that one, we're all going to have a Hypothesis account. And then after we all have a Hypothesis account, then we're all going to have to create our own groups. I'm going to walk you guys through that step by step, but I'm going to hold off doing it right now, and I'm going to wait until we're actually in front of our computers. I think it'll be less confusing that way, and I think that we'll be able to get through it together that way. Once we've created our small groups, then our task is going to be to each read a different article. Each group, is going to read a different article, and within your group you will be annotating, asking questions, providing commentary, providing definitions, highlighting, doing all those things that we're already so used to doing, with the goal being that you also respond to each other along the way. There'll be a set of guidelines that I'll post on the projector after we've got everything set up that will let you know exactly what you should do as you go through your article. Tomorrow in class, we are going to use each other's work to do a jigsaw activity, which means that today, while you're responding to each other and annotating and asking questions along the way just within your small groups, tomorrow we'll be flipping groups with one another and looking at different articles that we have not seen, but we're going to get to see those articles with the other group's annotations already in place. And our jobs are going to be to build off of those annotations with our own follow-up questions or clarifications that we might be able to provide, with the ultimate goal being to build a deeper and larger understanding of the text that we've read as a class. And then finally, after we've had the chance to jigsaw and switch groups, I will be able to pull up all of these articles one at a time on the projector, and we can have class discussions about what we're seeing. So we can have class discussions, of course, that are free-flowing about the text itself, but we can also take a look at the comments and the margin notes and the questions and definitions that you guys have gone out of your way to provide, and we can add to them as a class. We can talk about them. We can see if we need to clarify anything so that we have the largest breadth of understanding possible for these readings. We're going to use these readings in an essay at the end of this unit, and while I trust that everyone is fully capable of reading, annotating, and understanding these readings as they are, I think that this tool is going to help us have conversations with each other that we might not otherwise have, because although we all generally are pretty good about talking in this class, sometimes it's easier to get your point across when you can think about it and process and then type it out. This will also give you a chance to practice your written English as well as your spoken English, and we all need as much practice in as many aspects of English as we can get. So that is our ultimate goal, is to use these for an essay, but our immediate goals are to annotate, to ask each other questions, and to make sure that we're turning what is normally a solitary activity into a social activity. So let's go ahead and pack up our stuff and head off to the lab and get started.